hear it.
Let's talk about you mad. Let's talk about you mad.
Because I'm homeless and like the white people just have no compassion. They're heartless. They're nasty. They got no compassion for nobody.
Give me some examples. Give me like two to three of your favorite examples of why they're not compassionate.
All right, here's the white businessman. Excuse me, sir.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
All right. Second example.
Just a white female lady. Excuse me, ma'am, with all due respect, can I ask you a question? You know what I'm saying? 98% of my help comes from the black people.
99 what?
98% of my help comes from the black people.
Interesting. That's interesting. So now, why do you think that is?
Well, I honestly think it is because they know what it's like to struggle, and they get loved.
Answer rightly, you hit. And it's so sad because we don't love in the way we're supposed to as a people, given who we really are. That's why we're out here dressed this way, teaching what we're teaching. But now this is something I want to tell you. It's a sad case that your people are in power but can't even look after their own, right? Now, do you come from a well-to-do family and they just kind of just own you? Or is it more so you kind of come from a working class family?
Yeah, I come from family of
power. Are you want to come with assistance? You know what I'm asking? No? So, how many generations back have you been in power?
I have no credentials.
Credentials?
I've lost everything. My birth certificate, ID, social security.
When was the last time you filed a tax return?
It's been a long time.
Interesting. So, where to from here, as far as you said? Given the decisions being made on top by your people, where do you see things going?
What do you?
I mean, it's 2012. Where do you see things going from this year to next year to the year after that?
Destruction.
Destruction. Destruction of what?
Destruction of
everything. Everything. Like you mean like society?
Yeah, everything is going to shit.
Interesting. So now, what can you do about it?
Me as one person? Really nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure about that?
I don't think I could as one person. I mean, I could spread the word as much as I could, try to get as many people as I want to listen and hear and believe and stuff like that. But me as one person, no, I think it would take a whole lot more people to stand up.
Okay.
The government's basically told us that.
So, right. So now they teach about. Here's the thing I always notice.
The government don't teach nothing.
They do teach.
No, they don't.
They misteach. Yeah, you're right. But here's the thing I'll ask you.
They teach what they want to say, what they want. They teach what they want us to believe. You know, like.
Let me just say this real quick. You know, a lot of groups they come out and they say, you know, hey, society's wrong, society's fault. Get rid of this guy, get rid of this person. This law that was passed was wicked. The situation here was a setup. 9/11, the Columbine, all these setups. So now we always talk about what's wrong. So as far as you see it, we can point out the wrong, but now what's really the solution to the problem? As far as you see it,
I really don't know, man.
Honest. You think it's going back to the Constitution? That's what we need to do. I hear some people talking about we need to go back to the Constitution. We need to stand for the Constitution.
The Constitution isn't even being upheld anymore.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to take away our right to bear arms. They're trying, they've tore the Constitution apart, basically.
And something else, too, about the Constitution. According to the Constitution, we're not considered equal to you. According to the Constitution, you know that?
As black people, you mean, or...
Well, according to that writing, we're still looked at as three-fifths. They call us three-fifths. They had three-fifths, and they had Indians. Which that's not what they are either. They're still considered less than, they're separate from the men. When Jefferson said all men are created equal, according to the Constitution. So here's the real deal. Here's what's happening. America has to pay for its sins. What your people have done, what your forefathers have done, maybe in ways you're probably not familiar with. What you've done has pretty much led up to the rise of the society. Because of the way you rose in the society, it's going to then become your downfall at the same time. Okay, Revelation 13:9. Check this out. I want to read this verse. I want to see what you think about this.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. I had verses 6 7 for you. Slap.
Because it's sad, because in other empires, the Babylonians were in power, they looked after their own. The Persians were in power, they looked after their own. But now, when it comes to Esau, that's your name in the Bible. Regardless of different names you're going by, with the Greeks, the Roman, the British, the French, the Spanish, the Jewish, right? All these names you're going by. No matter what name you're going by,
Jesus or God?
I'm talking about your people, it's a nation. The way you go on the power, you have an uphold, you have an upheld righteous judgment. So due to your wickedness for your leaders, you as a nation have to pay. And not only just that, just the wickedness of your nation. Because what happens is you have many so-called whites that say, well, I wasn't there, I wasn't whipping the backs, you know. When you read the Bible talks about your spirit coming back.
Yeah.
So when you go into your forefathers, you are who your ancestors are. It's a soul cycle.
Yeah.
Your spirits come back in the third and fourth generation. And when the Most High judges, he judges on an individual level, he also judges on a national level. So for the wrong you've done to my people, Israel, as a nation, along for the wrong that you do yourself, as a nation, little thoughts you have at night, little perverse thoughts you have about family members and friends, things you think about doing, you may not act on, but you want to act on, or act on when you get drunk or high. Most High sees all that. He sees all that in your spirit, things I can't even tell you. But it's just crazy as far as your spirit and what you got going on. So now, for all that said, read Revelations 13:9, because this is how everything comes back around as far as what was done shall come back around. You ever heard that rule before? You heard that principle before? Goes around, comes around?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, that's what we're talking about. That's in the Bible. But that's how the Most High did it. I'm going to say this too, for who's watching. The reason why we came over here on slavery, the reason why we've gone through the hell we've gone through, like you said, the reason why we can understand and empathize with someone like you, because that's just been a norm for us. What you experience as a so-called white man, this is because we and our forefathers did it. We didn't keep the commandments of God. But now that time has come to an end. Now, most of us looking for a few good men and women to wake up to this. And as we wake up, our society is going to crumble
I believe
at the same
we're
time.
still all enslaved right now.
Who's all?
All of us, the whole world. Everybody.
To a certain extent, you're right, on a spiritual level, as far as the truth not being taught. But now, as far as your people physically, your nation's in power. You have dominion, you have rule, right? I mean, I just use the example of
When
Japan.
you say my nation, you mean the United States of America?
Not me as far as your forefathers, your nation, Esau. Regardless to the names you're going by.
Yeah.
So now, Revelations 13:9.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
So any man, if he has an ear, let him hear this, what's about to be said.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Hear that? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Your ancestors, you led us into captivity. You see? And because of that, you're now going to go into captivity. You're going to go into slavery. That's what's next.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Everywhere you're going, right? The sword, the modern day equivalent of sword, the gun, right? As you took gunpowder from the Chinese, and then what? You took the Maxim gun, went down to Africa and plowed down thousands of men. Just 50 Maxim guns or Gatling guns, right? You invented war machines. In some cases, it was us that invented the war machine, but we took it and then turned it into a weapon of destruction, right? You dropped bombs at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You rape women wherever you conquered in different regions of the land. Wherever you go, east, west, north, south. That's what's happening. So you live by the sword, so now you have to die by the sword. Finish it up.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
This is the faith and the patience of the saints. So the saints, you read the Bible, who are the saints?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm not spiritual at all. I'm an atheist.
So you believe in science? You believe in science?
Yeah.
Okay. So the best way I can kind of explain what we just read, think about, you know about the laws of motion? Isaac Newton, physics, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. You ever heard For every action is an equal opposite reaction. Okay, that's in the Bible. That's part of God's judgment. So everything that's done, there's an opposite reaction to it. That's somewhat explaining how the Most High deals when it comes to judgment. So you as a nation are going to feel what we as a nations felt over these last couple centuries. So that's what you have to look forward to. And we have to be on our way. But here's what I'll do. Will you do this? Because you might have a better spot in the kingdom. You're going to, your nation's going to die off entirely. You're going to be killed off entirely. But you're going to serve servitude or slavery in the kingdom. So now, you might be able to, you may survive to make it to the kingdom. Or you may die when the Third World War happens. You know the Third World War is coming, right?
They say, I guess.
Okay, well, you don't believe in God, but we do. He says the Third World War is happening. And people in positions of power that do believe in God, okay, but he's the enemy according to the Bible, they believe because he told them he's going to do a third war. So when that happens, many of your people are going to die. You're going to be overthrown. Like you said, your words. This whole thing's going to be overthrown. But now, we're going to be lifted up. Those of us that follow this. But now, there's a certain part of us that's going to die in that destruction too.
Now, do you honestly think that all that our people's going to let your commitment run?
You won't have a choice in that.
Alright, now when you say my people, to me, really, I don't consider them my people.
It's not about what you consider. It's about what is and what isn't. That's what I do. Because I have a lot of ideas in my head about, I want to create this or make things this way, but it's either what is and what isn't. Like I'll just go into atheism. It's a joke. Guys who worship Satan, who deal with spiritual wickedness in high places, they came up with the concept of atheists to fool their own people, like they say. It's a joke.
See, I think the Bible was created just to basically control man.
That's what you think. But now here's the thing you don't realize. The Bible is responsible for everybody. You, the bad guys, us, the good guys, all the other nations, the extras in the movie. Both sides, the playwright, you wrote the Bible. We're just actors on the stage. See? So it's not about what I feel or what you feel about it. That's just what it is.
You believe in the Bible, or